Good morning. So a member asked, what's the best way to do some groundwork before you get on your horse to get them to pay attention to you? So being able to lunge your horse is really important. It's important so you can see if they're moving good, if they're sound. It's important for your vet for a lameness evaluation. It's important for your farrier if they want to see how they're moving. So when I put my saddle on after I groom, I don't over tighten it, but before I lunge them, I am going to over tighten it, or not over tighten it, but take it up one more, hole. And the entire process should only take about 10 minutes, unless you have Rocky. He's very oral and likes to take all my tools. So the things you want your horse to do is to see if they're in the thinking side of their brain or the goof off and flight side of their brain. So the first thing I'm going to have them do, sorry, I have a bad knee right now. Let me move where you can see me, okay? So I've already checked my cinch. I'm going to drive, cluck, and then spank the ground if he doesn't move out. I'm going to keep him in this clinician halter, has knots on it. Now if he crowds me, I'm going to drive his shoulder out of my space. The goal is for him to keep slack in my rope, keep his face and tension towards me. This clinician rope and halter is about 15 feet. If he puts his head on the ground, I'm going to bump it up. If he puts his head out, I'm going to put it in. I like to walk around first so that their joints warm up a little bit. Might do that 1 to 3 times depending on the horse. Again, if he crowds me, drive the shoulder out of my space. If I need to go forward, drive the hip. My feet shouldn't move, his should move. And then when I want him to stop, slide my hand down the rope, say whoa, he should face me, but not crowd me. Then if I want him to back out of my space, I'm going to wiggle the rope up. He's very dull about backing. So a sensitive horse would back off just a wiggle, but Rocky, you tend to have to really move into his space to get him to back out. So I'm going to switch my hands. Which way were we going? I don't know. Let's go this way. So I'm going to direct, drive, and again, if he's in my space, drive the shoulder out of my space, and you can just wave it with energy or tap the shoulder, and then drive the hip. And again, I like them to go off at a walk first, one, so they know that it's not just death by lunging, just act crazy. I want them to actually go the speed I want, the direction I want, for as long as I want. And then I'll ask him to trot, ask, and then take if they ignore you. Drive that whip, drive that shoulder out of your space. Pay attention as you're driving that they're keeping slack in the ring. They're not looking around. They're focused on you. Drive them out of your space if they crowd. He seems to be crowding in just that one corner, so I'm going to be a little more proactive and drive into it a little bit more. That time he was better. So I usually do 3 times each direction at a trot, and then I'll do it even at a lope. Especially if you think you have a colt back horse, or you're not sure if this young colt wants to buckle the saddle, which, he's well past that. But again, slide my hand down, whoa. I want the hip away, the eyes toward. I prefer he didn't come into my space. Good boy. Good boy. But he's rotten. So, all right, so we trotted that way. We need to trot this way. To control your horse, the closer you keep him to start is better. I'll always have I like this hard whip to keep him out of my space. And it has a tail to extend my arm if I need to. But the hard whip, you can tap them on the shoulder or the hip if they're crowding you. And the tail you can drive with. Trot. And like I said, it's a great way to see if your horse is sore. It's a great thing for your vet, your farrier. And it's also a great thing to get them in the thinking side of their brain instead of the goofing off side of the brain. So, whoa. And I want 2 eyes on me. Whoa. And the hip away. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Alright, so now we're going to canter, direct, drive, and he saddle is keep your hand about 2 feet from the halter. Touch where your foot would. Clap and disengage the hindquarters around one time. Whoa. And do it on both sides. For time constraints, I'll just do one side today. Over. Deal the front end like a rollback. Back a step. Then wave at them. Watch the feet. If they are front heavy, back a step, and then over. Watch the front feet go around the back. Good boy. And then you also want to make sure they're not afraid of your whip. Whoa. So I'll hold them where if they spook, they can't kick at me or strike at me. So about right here and get his attention. Whoa. Do a little bit of the helicopter, or you can just throw it over their big muscles like the hip. Whoa. The neck. That was so dirty. So I'm getting dirt everywhere on my saddle. And then throw it on his legs. This is important too, so if they ever get hung up in something, they're not freaking out. Let them get used to that. Whoa. You can slap it, say whoa on both sides. So you want them not to be afraid of your tools, but you do want them to respect your tools. So we looked left. Now we need to look right. So I'm going to direct, drive. Good boy. Trot. Good boy. Out. Out. Cannon. Up, up. Oh, maybe I already went right. I think I did right. Whoa. You can also stop them at halfway point. Whoa. Drive them back out. Again, watching that shoulder stays out of my space. Can't remember if I did left or right. Up, up. Up, up. Good. I think I already did right. And you shouldn't have to micromanage as much. If you have a more sensitive horse, but he's a little lazy, so if I hit him once harder, he'll usually keep going better for me, and I won't have to manage him so much, because they don't like to get popped. Whoa! Put my whip up because he'll crowd me if I don't. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. All right, Richard. You don't want that. So the other thing you can do before you get on, and you've done all this, well, he's very oral, just bottle fed when he was a baby. Well, say whoa and face flips laterally, left and right. When rein stops are important on young horses or any horse. If they spook or anything like that, he's eating the stirrup, but I'm just going to ignore it. And then once he gives softly without pulling or moving his feet, I release. Then I'll go on the other side. Whoa, whoa, here, whoa. I say whoa, once he gives, I release. And do that 3 times on each side. And then the last thing is a head down cue. And you can teach that if you have a tall horse, you can teach it from the lead rope to put their head down. Just watch they don't bump you in the head. Or you can teach it from the pull, put pressure here to put the head down. So if you have a tall horse, it helps keep the bridle on. So, and that's about it. And he's ready to get on. So